The background music was Kimo Hula from Brother John Keave. So you can go ahead and complete your thoughts. Sorry for that interruption.
Yeah. And another thing is, I attended one of Tom Berg's meetings in, it was at the Honolulu Mission Auditorium.
Okay.
This was in July, and had one of the speakers that came out to the podium, to the microphone, and he was kind of talking about something, quite different, not with the rail, but something else. Mm-hmm. And he said that he serves on the Waikiki Neighborhood Board, and he said that he was talking to this guy from Texas, and he was explaining something that occurred in Texas that's not too comfortable. I would say maybe if you're talking about Hawaiian sovereignty, it would be something really bothersome. But in Texas, they built this some sort of a toll road that went through the corridor of Texas, and anyway, they weren't getting enough money. There wasn't a lot of car riders using the toll road, so it was a private-public relationship building that toll road, and they wasn't getting enough money. So the decision was they needed funds to fund that road, and one of the ways to fund the road, they would sell off land that was around that toll road.
Okay.
And and that was a problem because the land that they sold to foreigners is like 3 times as large as the Hawaiian Islands combined. That's how much land is sold to foreigners just to fund this toll road.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that this rail in Hawaii is most likely going to end up like that, because if they don't raise taxes or something to fund the rail, because there's not enough riders.
Yeah.
They may have to sell off land in Hawaii, and I've seen it before in Hawaii. Right, they sold some land to some foreigners. Like golf courses and stuff like Japan to Japanese investors and stuff. So I think this may be a problem.
And now they're trying to sell some of the housing in where's that, up Aala Street. It's supposed to be low-income housing, but the city don't want to continue operating it, so they want to sell it to private investors and then have them operate the low-income housing. But then again, you can have these other foreigners coming in and purchasing, so that is a problem. Yeah, we do have another caller.
Okay.
So thanks for calling and raising all of these issues. And
Poka.
Call back again. Aloha. And we go to our next caller. Our telephone number here is 524-1080. Aloha, caller. Welcome to the program.
Ai, aloha kakahiaka.
Hi, aloha no, Palipo.
Ooh, boy, a lot of action early in the morning. Wonderful.
All kind of stuff going on.
I'm so glad people are finally kind of waking up to what's going on. It's so positive.
Yeah, I was talking about the resolution that had passed the House Committee last night. I don't know if you had heard the program last night, but we went into quite some detail about that discussion.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I was tied up with my had a funeral, my brother-in-law's funeral over in Kailua Beach. Yeah. So I was tied up all the way to 7:00.
Okay.
But no, we had incidentally, I'm one of those church mouses, huh?
Yeah, you did talk about
I can't. It's like I can't really say too much, and I can't be too loud because the parishioners are still here. Yeah, I want it can come out when they leave the church. Yeah, but it was received pretty positive. Yeah. Gene Ward had some concerns. I stayed back. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
so Gene Ward, he wasn't at the hearing itself.
No,
he may have been
reconvened with the full committee. Yeah. Gene Ward had some concerns about taxes. Yeah. How does this new classification?
Yeah.
And he was concerned that the federal people would step in and reprimand, the state, for creating this thing, And I told him, I said, I told him to get in touch with you and with Leon, yeah? But I said, we all have concerns over taxes.
Yeah.
Basically, I said, no, that we are not asking for anything that wasn't already ours. It's not something that we had a dream and created,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was something that turned into a nightmare that was taken away. There is quite a difference, yeah? So it's now going into the other committees, namely the Budget Committee, Finance, and but HCR 96 and the House Resolution 68, went through, and they approved of it. This Marcos Pine representative, I think her first name is Beverly.
Pine. Yes, she's running for mayor. She's out from Everside.
Yeah, she's from the Everside.
Yeah, she and who is that? Tom Berg were closest of friends, and now are bitter enemies.
Yeah,
both Republicans. Okay, them guys. Okay, those two. Yeah.
Well, she did not say one word. She looked very disgusted, but did not say one word.
They're part of the Tea Party, yeah.
Yeah, And anyway, so that's going pretty smooth, basically.
Yeah.
Of course, this is just the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Did they vote against it, or with reservations?
Jean Ward voted with reservations, yeah. And she was against it, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And the other members, the other 7 or 8
supported
members supported it, yeah.
If Jean should call me and ask me about the tax implications, my response to him is that we have to separate the two categories. One is the category of principles, and the other is a category of interest or consequences. When one deals with the issue of human rights and fundamental freedoms, one essentially puts oneself in the area of principles. So, the question of should slaves be let free is not a category of what are the consequences, how is it going to affect our tax or our business or things like that, but it's a question of principle. Does a human being have the right to freedom? Just like the question, does a human being have a right to his own nationality without someone coming in and, because of tax purposes or whatever the purpose is, change that individual's nationality? And that's where that category is at. Now, the consequence one should not determine one's vote. It's a matter of principle when you're dealing with human rights. And that is at least the approach I would take to that question. Of course, we can talk about, well, what are the consequences of taxes, or of driver's license, or birth certificates, or Social Security contributions, and all that stuff.
Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, of course, I can see his side of being concerned, because they might be labeled, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I told him basically what we're asking for is not something that we created. Basically, it was there and it was been
taken away.
Yeah.
Yep.
On it.
Yep.
And I don't know if you have a copy. Leon is coming back tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And he sent an email out basically making reference to this. And one of these attachments is, he titles Discrimination Against Hawaiian Nationals. Did you get that?
I don't recall getting it. Was it sometimes, well, it must have been this past week, of course.
Yeah, I think, well, I didn't have it yesterday, so he must have just sent it last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, no, I have not.
Yeah, it's a 2-page thing, and it covers, I say, well, of course, what is a Hawaiian national? And then it compares a current U.S. and state of Hawaii position regarding, and then the treatment of Hawaiian nationals.
I may have gotten it, in which he talks about the areas of discrimination.
Yeah, a list, of current discrimination.
Yeah. I believe I have seen it. Yeah.
And it's very, very true. of this listing, basically, as we know it, as Hawaiian nationals, those are things that we go through, to exist,
Right.
to exist,
Yeah.
and kind of reminds me of in the 50s, early 50s, everything was AJA. You remember that?
Yeah.
If you wanted work, you had to be AJA. If you wanted to rent, you had to be AJA. And that kind of coerced me into joining the service, because it was either a veteran or AGA, and I could not become an AGA.
For people who are not familiar with the term, why don't you say what AJA is?
Oh, American Japanese ancestry?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they used to have baseball leagues, and you had to be Japanese to be able to play in the leagues, and it still goes on in terms of what is that flower? Miss so and so contest.
Cherry
blossom queen. You got to be Japanese. For the Chinese is what is that, Miss?
Only Miss Hawaii get all kinds.
All mixed up.
All chop suey, Miss Hawaii.
And when the suggestion was made that Miss Hawaii should only be for the Hawaiians, they say, "Hey, wait, you mean discriminatory?"
Yeah, discriminating. You know what I mean? Okay, but that's the status of HRC resolution, House Committee Resolution 96.
Yeah.
And according to Leon, we can expect to have, how they create other bills, and the other bills may be not supportive, but yet they carry the same identity,
Oh, I see. Okay, let's keep our eyes open. Yeah, give me a call if you get any information, or send me an email just to be sure that I get it.
That.
Yeah, and then I will do the same for you.
Last caller was talking about the tolls, and they were trying to do that with that massive highway, that super highway that was going to go from Canada to Mexico.
The I something, the Interstate
I forgot
5,
what it is.
not
Basically,
the 5.
Is the Don Carlos super highway.
Okay.
Supposedly was to have 10 or 12 lanes in each direction.
Wow.
Toll free, and it's all designed for the purpose of moving commerce,
Yeah.
The 18-wheelers,
Right.
But you go over there with your 4-wheeler, you got to pay toll. See? And
I see.
Anyway, but I don't want to take much more of your time and precious time and let other people call in.
Okay, well, thanks for calling. Good to hear your voice again. Take care.
Aloha.
Hi, ahoy ho. And there was Palipo who also testified this past week on the subject of Hawaiian nationals. Okay, we talked about that yesterday, and if you have any comments or any questions, give me a call. Telephone number is 524-1080. I am Pokalai Nui. It's about 7:45 o'clock on KWAI. This is at 1080 on your AM dial. If you would like to call, our telephone number is 524-1080. We are broadcasting on the 25th day of March in the year 2012. Now let's see what other comments I had wanted to make on other issues, and so we'll visit other issues as a matter of this potpourri idea behind the program. If there's some stuff that you have already heard that you would like to comment on, give me a call, and I'd be more than happy to revisit some of the stuff that we have talked about. Drones. A drone, you know how these new words come into our lexicon? A drone being an airplane that is sort of controlled, what is the word for it? Controlled electronically by being outside of the plane. It's like playing with those toys where you can fly these planes in different ways. Well, this article comes out of Islamabad, Pakistan. Making up is never easy, but as Pakistan and the United States try to restart their troubled relationship after a year of spectacular crisis, the difference could come down to drones. For the Obama administration, facing a faltering war effort and increasingly distrustful allies in Afghanistan, the covert CIA drone strike campaign centered on North and South Waziristan in northwestern Pakistan has acquired new relevance. Although the drones are best known for targeting senior commanders of Al-Qaeda, 2 more were reported killed in January. They also play a vital role in combating cross-border infiltration from Taliban havens inside Pakistan. Of the 10 confirmed strikes so far this year, 6 hit vehicles filled with fighters that in several cases were headed for the Afghan border, a senior United States official said. We must protect the troops, and almost all of that stuff is in Waziristan, said the official, speaking on the condition of anonymity because the drone program is classified. Interviews with militants in those areas leave little doubt that the drones have disrupted their operations, driving fugitive leaders deeper into the mountains. But that matters little in mainstream Pakistan, where public discourse rings with thunderous condemnation of breached sovereignty and civilian casualties. Here, the CIA campaign is as unpopular as ever and could stymie efforts over the coming days to revive diplomatic relations with Washington that have been frozen for 4 months now. On Tuesday, President Asif Ali Zardari will convene a special sitting of Parliament that aims to improve his government's strained ties with the United States, which have been suspended since American warplanes killed 24 Pakistani troops on the Afghanistan border in November. Public outrage over the shooting capped a tumultuous year for the country's relationship, already rocked by a shooting by a CIA contractor in Lahore and the commando raid that killed Osama bin Laden. We want this relationship to be transparent and predictable, said Sherry Rehman, Pakistan's ambassador to Washington. American officials hope that the parliamentary debate will pave the way for a normalization of relations by early April, end a month-long blockade of NATO supply lines through Pakistan, and boost faltering efforts to draw the Afghan Taliban into peace talks. All those issues are critical to American plans to withdraw combat troops from Afghanistan in 2014. But signs are that the Pakistani debate will be dominated by strident calls for an end to drone strikes. The drones are killing innocent bystanders, including children and women, said Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan, the leader of the opposition in Parliament, in an interview. They must be stopped forthwith. American officials say there is no question of grounding the unmanned aircraft, which have become a central weapon in the Obama administration's counterterrorism arsenal. A senior American official in Washington said that the CIA had consistently taken precautions to reduce the risk to civilians, and noted that some strikes had killed Pakistan's insurgent enemies too. These efforts have been extremely precise and effective, said the official, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the program's covert status. In North and South Waziristan, the tribal districts where 95% of about 265 strikes ordered by the Obama administration have occurred. The drones have sown fear and paranoia among Taliban fighters who, facing a technologically superior enemy, have adopted some unusual countermeasures. And then they talk about how a video camera can detect certain lights that are shining, I guess, when they take the picture of the vehicle to determine whether or not these drone flights have keyed in on their vehicles. Okay, whether this is true or not is unclear. A former CIA official confirmed that the agency does use tracking devices to identify targets. So anyway, they talk about the use of the video cameras to interrupt or interfere with or to know whether or not they're being targeted. Another militant commander, speaking on conditions of anonymity, said that the killing of several innocent tribesmen by the Taliban spy squad had provoked discord in military or militant ranks over the past year and led to a drop in summary executions. Okay, I'll stop here. The Americans are saying we're not going to stop. We're going to keep flying these drone flights. The Pakistani is saying stop it. We are not going to extend you all of the privileges that you want to come into Pakistan and bring your armaments into Afghanistan through the use of Pakistan because of all of these unsettled matters. But the heart of it is your drone flights. So the Americans saying stop it, and the Pakistanis saying stop it. The Americans are refusing and continuing to violate international law. All right, I think that brings us to the end of this program. I should say that we are produced by the Hawaiian National Broadcast Corporation. The opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of this radio station or of the Hawaiian National Broadcast Corporation. I am Poka Lainui, and I have been your host for the last 2 hours. Now,
Kaulana na pua o Hawaii Tupa ama hope o ka aina Iki mai ka elele o ka loko ino Pala pala anunu me ka paka Mane mai Hawaii o ke ave Koku ana honoa o pilani Ka ko o mai kaua I o mano Paapu me ke one o ka kuhi